All right. Welcome to 5 Rounds with Eddie and Nick, presented by CrossroadsMMA.com and Crossroads MMA Radio. Basically the same fucking entity, so who cares? Screw the ads. Let's go right to the show, man. Of course, as always, I am your host, Eddie Law, and with me from CrossroadsMMA.com is Nick Pilecki. What's up, Nick?
What's going on?
Same stuff, man. Same stuff, different day, except it's a little quieter, so I don't mind it. Anyway, let's kick it right off. Did you get to see Manny Pacquiao fight Mayweather?
Yes, and I was very well. Okay, I was watching the end of the Spurs game. Thank you, Spurs, for losing. And then we turned it back, and boxing was doing what they do on their pay-per-views. They're just dragging it on, doing whatever they can to stay on, and trying to get the most revenue. Fight finally happened. Why the hell was Jamie Foxx singing the national anthem? Of all people in the United States or in the world that can sing, why Jamie Foxx? Why? Anyway, yeah, I saw the two kittens fight. It was basically that. It was two cats pawing at each other the whole time. Manny Pacquiao had a good flurry. I think it was in the 5th or 6th round, somewhere around there. But other than that, Mayweather did Mayweather, and Pacquiao could not keep up with him. So,
yeah. Here's the thing. When people were talking about, oh, I can't believe this fight's boring, like, what did you expect from Floyd Mayweather? I put the fault on Manny Pacquiao for not showing up. I mean, how do you not have – you have years of tape on this motherfucker, and you still can't – oh, hold up a second. Oh, sorry, I got a text. Check it out. Amazon.com, who actually is one of our sponsors. If you go to crossroadsmma.com, little box of Amazon on it, just send me a text saying my Samsung Gear 2 smartwatch is on its way. That's right. I'm buying myself useless shit that I don't need. Anyway. Like I was saying, people were expecting Mayweather to actually fight Pacquiao. It's not Mayweather's style anymore. Yeah. Mayweather hasn't knocked anybody out in years. Manny Pacquiao hasn't knocked anybody out in years, right? So you're Manny Pacquiao. You have years and years of tape. All right, you have Freddie Roach. You can figure some shit out. To me, it seemed like Manny Pacquiao showed up, whether or not he was injured. He showed up and decided he was going to collect the check and go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, and now we got this thing where they're talking about doing a rematch. Would you watch Pacquiao?
I'm not gonna. Well, I didn't pay for this one. Actually, I went over a friend's house, but I'll watch it. But I'll go to a bar and watch it, and probably not pay attention to the whole fight because it's gonna be the same thing, unless Manny Pacquiao decides, hey, maybe when I have him in the corner, maybe I should rush him a little bit more, and then let him hug me instead of just backing him up in the corner, and then he grabs him. And then it pissed me off.
Maybe he should have pulled a knife out of his fucking glove and shanked him, because that'd have been the only way he was going to win that fight. But look, man, unfortunately, the name of the game for Mayweather is run like hell and make sure you don't get touched, because otherwise I think Manny Pacquiao would have won that fight had he not run the whole time. But
yeah.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
It's crazy because I necessarily don't like Mayweather's attitude. As a boxer, he's smart. If you go back and watch, even if you're interested in watching some of it in slow-mo, you see how fast that man is. Yeah. He's quick. But other than that, it's just boring. Boxing's dying because of Floyd Mayweather.
Here's the thing. You see, I argue that because I don't think boxing's dying, but I think now we know what this new era of boxing is. It's not really fighting. It's Olympic boxing, Olympic point fighting. There's been fights in the Olympics where a guy gets knocked out and he wins. And why does he win? Because he scored the most points before he got knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? So it's I equate it to stalling in jiu-jitsu with a gi. I don't like watching gi jiu-jitsu because you just grab the sleeves and stall. I'd rather watch no-gi jiu-jitsu, EBI, or something like that, in order to watch people actually get finished, or at least attempt to get finished, because you're not stalling, squatting in no-gi. Yeah. But overall, man, like I don't know. Have you ever been a boxing fan?
No, well, kind of. When Floyd was Pretty Boy Floyd, I started watching it. It was good, but other than that, no.
Okay, I haven't watched since I was a kid, man. And Mike Tyson was still out knocking motherfuckers out, and that. To me, it was amazing because it was watching a guy come out, heavyweight come out, and it was like watching an execution. It was pretty crazy. But anyway, speaking about jiu-jitsu, no-gi jiu-jitsu, specifically, Metamoris goes down this Saturday, headlined by Josh Barnett against, I believe, Brayu, right?
Yes.
Or am I getting the wrong one? Yeah. That's your main event. Actually, I'm going to pull up the card while we're talking about it. Here's something crazy about it. They're not allowing any media or any people from outside come in and actually watch. It's going to be a closed set. And I don't know. It blew my mind. I don't understand why they're doing it. I don't like it. But it's really weird. What do you think of that whole leave the public out of it concept?
I kind of like it. It's different. I was thinking about it when we were talking about it. It's kind of like they're back in the gym. They're just in the gym going at it and everything like that. I kind of like it, but I did like the atmosphere with the drums, with the crowd, with all the UFC fighters out there, all the MMA fighters. And it was cool. I liked it. But I don't know. I don't want to pay for it, but I'm going to pay for it. I'm excited for it. I want to watch it. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna pay to watch. No problem. I love jiu-jitsu that much. But my problem with it is that you're not letting people in there. I didn't get to go to the first 5 because I just had to work and all that shit. But I was planning on going to one, and now like depending on how successful this one is, who knows if they're going to allow or if they're gonna just stay with this whole pay-per-view only format. Or if they're gonna go back to allowing the public in. I really, really do hope they do allow the public back in there. Because I would fucking for sure buy a ticket to that, but I don't know. I just think it's a mistake leaving the public out of it. But as you see right here, your main event is the War Master, the heavyweight champion from Metamoris, Josh Barnett, taking on Roberto Abreu, the Cyborg. From what else though, we've seen Barnett. Barnett's a crack catch wrestler. He is a heavy motherfucker. Dean Lister hadn't been submitted in years. He submitted him, but it also seemed like he had 600 pounds on him. So I'm not sure if they do weigh-ins or not for this, but. Barnett obviously is going to be heavier and bigger than Cyborg, but I'm excited to see Abreu is not a pushover whatsoever if you know your jiu-jitsu. Also on the card, Chael Sonnen against Renato Sobral Babalu. They fought once in the cage. I believe Sonnen won, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe he did one too.
You know what? I should definitely research this shit before we talk about it. But anyway, continuing on here, look that up while I'm talking. Chael Sonnen taking on Babalu. Dylan Dennis is taking on Joe Lozon. I'll go back to Dennis in a second. Taking on Joe Lozon. We got what's his name? Zande Ribeiro against Keenan Cornelius. There we go.
That's gonna be a good one.
Wow, I lost the whole webpage. It's great. Clark Gracie, that's gonna be a fun one because I haven't seen Clark Gracie do anything in a long time. Against Roberto Satoshi, another really, really good one. And then Jeff Monson taking on the Road to Metamoris champion. You actually saw some of those episodes, right, of those Road to Metamoris?
Yeah, they're actually pretty cool. It's just basically same thing as Metamoris. You just see the matches. It's tournament style. It's really cool, actually. I haven't finished watching them. I'm going to finish watching them before I watch Metamoris, but it's actually pretty cool. And yes, Chael Sonnen lost to Babalu by a triangle choke.
I was about to say, I remember a triangle choke being in there. I don't think Sonnen knows how to do that.
No.
I mean, back then, I don't think he knew how to do that. But here's the thing. I don't know if you heard that Metamoris has tried to sign, jiu-jitsu fighters to exclusive contracts. Have you heard about that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They tried to get Gary, what's his name?
Gary. Eddie. And I think Eddie is muted, but.
Oh, shoot. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're muted.
Jesus Christ. All right. Thank you, Internet. Anyway, apologize for that, people. It's been a long day. But look, they try to sign a few fighters that turned them down. Dylan Dennis is actually going to take on Joe Lozon. Is rumored to be one of those guys that signed that exclusive contract. He hasn't said much about it, but it makes me kind of sad because I rather see. I don't want guys to be only signed to certain jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I kind of like it because it's different. If retired MMA fighters, retired UFC fighters, everything like that, can go into Metamoris and sign a contract with them and then get paid and do the events. I like it that way. Just strictly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or BJ or any Jiu-Jitsu competition people, fighters, whatever. What are they called? Are they called fighters?
Yes, they are called fighters.
See, because that's weird because they're not fighting, but in a way.
Yeah, they always talk about that. I mean, the old school jiu-jitsu guys are called fighters. Some people call it a match, practitioners, martial artists, whatever.
But I like the contract aspect. I like that. Maybe we'll see. I want Metamoris on Fight Pass.
That'd be great, except I don't know if they would do it. But here's what bothers me. Okay. Look at the package options right there. You get a 3-month membership for $8.49 a month. I believe that's a little under $30. Right. 12-month membership for about $8. And then you can get just the pay-per-view broadcast for $30. Yeah. They're trying to make it a subscription service, kind of like Fight Pass. Yeah. Except you can get 3 months, you can get 12 months. And then with that, you get access to the pay-per-view, the road to Metamoris, the other no time limit match. Basically, it's kind of like a mini Fight Pass for Metamoris only. So I don't know how it's going to work for them, but are you going to be able to watch it this weekend?
I'm going to probably buy the pay-per-view, just the pay-per-view portion, because I don't want to watch all the exclusive stuff, because if they're just going to have a Metamoris every, 6 months it's been? Yeah. Then I'm not going to buy 3 months, and then I'm not going to buy the 12 months so I can watch 2 events. I do like the Road to Metamoris and like the little special features they throw up on their YouTube channel, but I'm not going to sit all day and go through it like I do with Fight Pass and watch previous fights, watch everything like that. So I'll just buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah. All right. So I'm hoping, obviously, I'm going to watch it regardless because I just love jiu-jitsu. But I do recommend for the next EBI, the Eddie Bravo Invitational. To me, it's a much better event. They have overtime rules, which means someone's going to win. You're not necessarily going to get a draw. Okay. So definitely recommend those. If you can get a hold of that on YouTube somewhere, or maybe EBI has a website for it, highly recommend you watch that. Moving on here to Ryan, real quick. I don't know if we talked about this. Ryan Bader's going to hold out and wait for a title shot. Basically, the winner of Johnson versus Cormier. Not guaranteed. The UFC has said anything, but he believes he deserves that title shot. Do you believe he deserves that title shot?
No. Why? Why is even the picture? Why is he even talking about a title shot? What was his last fight? He won his last fight, I believe, right?
He's got 4 in a row, all decisions though, no finishes.
Yeah, no, I don't think he deserves a title shot. He's ranked number 5. If anything, I think if fight Gus. Well, Gus already has an appointment right now. Gus is the one. If he wins,
no, Gus got hurt.
Oh yeah, Gus got hurt. I just realized that.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Gus got hurt. I have a theory on that.
Oh, hurt, quote unquote.
Quote unquote hurt. You know why? Because just out of nowhere, Jon Jones messes up, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm hurt. I'm gonna wait till September to come back because my back injury." I think he's gonna wait for a title shot too. I think all these guys think they deserve title shots. It's getting kind of crazy at 205.
I think OSP deserves more of a title shot than Ryan Bader.
Then Ryan Bader, yes, I'll give you that because OSP actually finished like in devastating fashion Shogun Rua. So yeah, I'll give him that.
So we should have OSP Ryan Bader for maybe a title shot.
You know what? Did they fight already? No, did they fight?
I don't think so. But yeah, they did. Actually, I think they did. But let's do another one because the light heavyweight division just got rocked, knocking out Jon Jones. So, but I think OSP lost to Ryan Bader by decision. So there you go. OSP redeem himself, try to get that title shot, and Ryan Bader can either decide, yeah, I beat this guy once, I could do it again, give him my title shot. Yeah.
And then, speaking of Jon Jones, the fact that he's been stripped for the title and all that, do you think that, because a lot of people are talking about that, it's really weird because they're saying like, oh, that title is not going to be the real 205 title unless you take it from Jon Jones. To me, that sounds like, oh, they shouldn't have stripped Jon Jones. I don't agree with that. I think stripping him was the right thing to do. In fact, he deserved to get stripped. And I don't really care when people say, oh, it's not the real 205 belt because you're not taking it from Jon Jones. That's a real 205 belt. When you fuck up, look, life, Jon Jones lost to life. Okay, that's basically what happened. He lost to his garbage mistakes, and now he lost the title. So he lost, all right? Deal with it, people. Cormier and Jones are going to fight for the legit 205 title. Then when Jones gets back, yeah, highly likely he's going to get his belt back because he's still, if he comes back at the same level, he's still easily the best fighter on the planet. But do you buy that shit, do you buy that talk? It's not the real belt.
Well, first of all, we can't see you, Eddie, and and It is the real title. Jon Jones did not obey the code of conduct of the UFC. That's a part of your job. That's a part of keeping the title. So, yeah, that's a real 205 title. It's not the interim title. Yeah, Jon Jones beat himself.
Yeah, and that's the only way Jon Jones was gonna lose anyway, because he's a world beater. So that's just how good he really is. All right, let's man, what else are we gonna talk about? It's gonna be a short show today, man.
Because all the news is Jon Jones. Yeah, all the news is Jon Jones. Is the real title? Will we ever see him back in MMA? Will we ever see him back in the UFC? Does he even want to come back anymore? What's gonna happen? It's all Jon Jones.
Yeah, unfortunately. So that's kind of what it is. Let's talk about this weekend's card, man. Let me pull up the.
Well, what about the payouts?
Oh shit! Yes, it's the payouts. Good ear or good memory. Cody Gibson actually was one of the guys that tweeted out the tweet with the payouts. I don't think that was supposed to be public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me find that tweet real quick because I actually have it.
In other words, probably this plans might change since it's out in public.
No, it's not going to change. But
you don't think it'll change?
No, but now they got to deal with the scrutiny for sure. True. So let me pull it up. Here it is. Screen sharing this shit. Can you see it?
Not yet. Yes, I can.
Okay. So if you read on there, 1 to 5 bouts get you $2,500. This is per bout. So if you have a fight, once they announce your fight, this is what you're gonna get from Reebok: $2,500 for if you have 1 to 5 bouts in the UFC. $5,000 for 6 to 10, 10 for 10 for 15 to 11 to 15, so on and so forth. Champions get 40, challengers get 30. So it's from what I understand from what other fighters have said, between for the guys that have very few fights, that's kind of what they average in sponsorship money anyway. So it's not going to be a big difference. I think for the guys that, for example, there's some guys that have over 20 fights in the UFC. They're not title challengers, champions, but they're going to get $20,000. So it seems like it's unfair for some people and it's fair for others. But I think taking away the opportunity and the ability to get many different sponsors to help you out with that money, it is screwing the fighters overall. What do you think?
It is screwing the fighters overall, in my opinion. I know we were talking about it before the show. You said the champion more than likely is already going to have a Reebok deal.
Right.
So he's going to get paid off. He or she is going to get paid off that, and then they're going to get paid this $40,000. Honestly, I think it's a ripoff because it's Reebok, and I think they should be paid a little bit more, especially for like 16 to 20 bouts. Think about it. Who in the UFC has 16 to 20 bouts that are no names, in your opinion?
Josh Koscheck.
There you go.
He's a name, but he's got plenty.
Mm-hmm. He's thinking about retiring. Are they going to get paid after too, or is it just towards fights?
Just towards fights per bout. So if you have a fight coming up, that's your sponsorship money right there. So, so for some fighters, they're going to have to use that money to fund their training camp.
Yeah, think about Roger Narvaez, 1 to 5 bouts, he'll get $2,500. Yeah, that seems like that's a lot of money to me, but to a mixed martial arts fighter who has a lot of bills to pay, pay through training camp, basically put his or her job aside that are not well-known names. This is not going to pay a lot of their training camp. They have to get other sponsors, but we can only wear Reebok inside the cage now. So a lot of those sponsors are going to be dropping them off, not saying yes to the sponsorship and everything like that.
Yeah. So, again, unfortunately, fighters, once again, the short end of the stick on this one. And again, Cody Gibson being the one that tweeted this out. I believe he removed the tweet. That's a screenshot right there.
Yeah.
So, hopefully he doesn't get in trouble for doing that. But I'm sure Dana White called him immediately. He's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah. So that goes in effect next month, right?
I believe it does. Yes, next month.
So uniforms, no more banners.
It's gonna be a big change. And again, the other people that are not getting screwed, because look, I'll be honest with you, we've dealt with some good managers here on the show, talking to people. There's a few good guys like Jay Journal and all those guys. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of garbage managers that are really, really shady people, right?
Yeah.
And there's also the ones that are big time, all that. But there's a lot of managers that are just not, kind of crappy people. So for them, you're like, whatever, because that's literally their job is to get their fighters sponsorship money. You know what I mean? And fights and all that. And now a big part of their job is going to be gone. It's going to be done for them if they're in the UFC. But I do feel bad for a lot of the managers that are actually good people and they actually do the work. So that's going to suck for the managers too. But the game's changing. It's changing right in front of us, and we're about to see, I guess, the consequences of those actions.
Now, do you think that means the Octagon is just going to be Reebok now?
It's going to be Reebok, Bud Light. It's going to be just the UFC sponsors, basically.
UFC regular sponsors,
yeah. Because from what I've read, is the fighters going to wear Reebok and then one other sponsor of the UFC's choosing, I believe. So they could choose NOS, Monster. By the way, why the hell would you? They're sponsored by NOS and Monster. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're the same shit, right?
Basically.
It's a heart attack in a can. Damn. So, yeah. All right. So that's your Reebok sponsorship news, fellas. Let's move on here to the card this weekend. Honestly, not a very exciting one. I have to say that much. But it is free. It is on Fight Pass, so it's, I guess, a little free. But I'll kick it off a night out. Wow, what the hell is that name?
What name?
That one on the left. Can you see the screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Is it working yet?
No.
God damn it. Let me try again. See, ladies and gentlemen, what happens when you hurry up a show and try to get started. For all the people that were complaining that we hadn't started yet. How about now?
Now we can.
Okay, cool. Kicking off the night, Alptekin Ozilkilik against Ben Nguyen. What the fuck? Nick Grujic against Brandon O'Reilly. This is a good one because Kaylin Kerwin is fine.
But
don't care. She's fine as hell, bro. Look at her. Okay. I'm not a big tattoo guy, and she's still fine as fuck. But taking on Alex Chambers out of Australia, who I believe lost her last fight, even though it was a really, really good fight. She's a tough chick for sure. After that, we get Dylan Andrews against Bradley. What's up?
No, Dylan Andrews. I'm going for that. I like Dylan Andrews. I like Dylan Andrews. He's a good fighter. It's just he gets the short end of the stick in most of his fights.
Yeah, he does actually. You're a good point. Bradley Scott so England against New Zealand. This one I like that they put the countries on there now, but I think they screw up a couple of them now. Beck Rawlings against Lisa Ellis. If you tuned in to Keyboard Warriors last night, Lisa Ellis got no jokes, but Beck Rawlings kind of got shit on. So yeah, that's just kind of what it was. And then after that, he's one of my favorite fighters now. Smiling Sam Alvey taking on Dan Kelly. Sam Alvey knocked out Vitor's protege Mutante in his last fight. Totally unexpected, but a big win for Sam Alvey. After that, Kalnoki against Jonathan Webb, who is apparently from nowhere, according to this.
He's an alien.
He's an alien. He's smoked from Mortal Kombat. And then Hatsu Hiyoki taking on Dan Hooker, one of the most unfortunate last names ever. But Dan Hooker, the Hangman. Kicking off the main card also on Fight Pass. Wow, I can't click on the thing. Here's a good one. Jake Matthews against James Vick. Jake Matthews off the Australia versus Canada tough. This kid's good. Tough kid, strong kid. I think he's got a bright future in MMA. Against James Vick, who seems to somehow pull off a freaking win in every fight, even though I every time he fights, I think he's an underdog. So coming in, we got Australia against USA. What's your take on this one?
I gotta go James Vick, the Texecutioner. I got to see him live. Good fighter, but also Jake Matthews is a good fighter though. The Celtic kid, he's a good fighter. I like him. He is growing. He does look like Justin Bieber. That probably is helping him out a little bit. But I'm gonna go with James Vick. Two undefeated fighters. We're gonna see someone get one. Get
the one, yeah. Of course, I'm sure Jake Matthews looks like Justin Bieber helps him out at the bars. It's a good for him. Anthony Perosh, who I haven't seen in a minute. The Hippo taking on Sean O'Connell. I'm kind of leaning towards Perosh here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Perosh, but I want to know why his nickname's the Hippo.
It's a good question. I'm actually gonna look that up after the show. All right, in the co-main event, Brad Tavares taking on Robert Whittaker. You got to think that Brad Tavares is going to kind of run this guy over, but Whittaker isn't. He's not a pushover whatsoever.
Yeah, no, this is actually the fight that I can't wait to watch on this whole card. I like Brad Tavares. He's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's a little bit heavy-handed. But John Whitaker is just growing as a fighter, and I really do like him. So it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be basically a vet versus, well, I guess you could say Brad's vet. I forgot what season he was on.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But yep.
And then the one fight I think is interesting in this whole card. I do agree with Brad Tavares, but I'm not a big fan of Robert Whitaker. But the one fight I think even matters on this card: Stipe Miocic taking on Mark Hunt. To me, this is not a freak show, but Mark Hunt's not going to get a title shot out of this. Stipe Miocic, meanwhile, he's got really good momentum going, and he could be fighting for a possible title shot soon. Who would you take in this fight?
Mark Hunt, walk-off knockout. He wants it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Like last night on Keyboard Warriors, the other guys picked Stipe, and I was all about Mark Hunt by one punch, just because, which would suck for Miocic. This is kind of a bad fight for Stipe because if he loses, he loses hard.
Yeah,
and if he wins, he's not gonna get a title shot off of this one, but he'll get a fight for a title shot, I think.
Yeah. If Mark Hunt wins, he'll fight Rampage because Rampage wants fighters, wants boxers and people who bang.
Yeah. This guy, Mark Hunt will retire at fucking Rampage. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm sending his ass back to Bellator. All right, man. Let's get into the last segment of the day. Again, like I was saying, pretty short show. Top 5. I think we did knockout artists, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My list is done as shit. I lost it, so I'm gonna have to just go from memory. But let's start with your number 5.
My number 5. It's kind of weird because I think he would be higher on anyone else's list. Is Chuck Liddell. Iceman, great fighter. He had that overhand right that would just knock you out cold. That's why his name was the Iceman, or his nickname was the Iceman. I liked him when I was getting into the UFC. I watched him on when he was a coach on Tough, and then I started getting to watch all his older fights and everything. He just likes knocking everyone out. So Chuck Liddell is my number 5.
All right, my number 5, Mr. Shogun Rua, who out of his 21 wins, 18 of them are actually by knockout, including Lyoto Machida and the aforementioned Chuck Liddell. Shogun Rua doesn't knock dudes out as much anymore. In fact, we've actually seen him get knocked the hell out in really, really harsh ways in the last couple of years and get choked out by Chael Sonnen. But overall, man, one of the best knockout artists in the history of MMA. So let's go ahead and get to number 4 for you. Go ahead.
My number 4, you're going to be surprised he's not higher. Anderson Silva is my number 4. He's not number 1. He knocked people out back in the day, like with random stuff, like stuff that you never saw before. Yeah. That crane kick from when he kicked Vitor Belfort in the face, and I lost my mind. When he knocked out Chris Lieben and everything like that. So Anderson Silva is my number 4. He's still the greatest of all time, in my opinion.
All right, number 4 for me is going to be Chuck Liddell. What don't we know about Chuck Liddell as far as me knocking dudes out with the overhand right? In fact, every time you see Chuck Liddell somewhere, you see a fighter asking him about how to throw that damn thing. Last time I saw it was Uriah Hall asking him how to throw that overhand right on some kind of embedded video. So he knocked out Kevin Randleman. I believe he knocked out Randy Couture. He knocked out Tito Ortiz twice. I mean, big names, all of them. So, definitely, he probably should be higher, but I think I might be playing a little favorites here with this list. But number 4, Chuck Liddell for me, for sure. So let's go ahead. Number 3 for Nick Pilecki.
Number 3 is going to be Mirko Cro Cop. That left kick? Is it left or right? It doesn't even matter. Whatever kick he throws is going to knock you out. When we were talking about picking a pride fight to watch for tomorrow's show, I started watching some of Mirko's fights and just watching him knock people out constantly with that kick. And I like Mirko Cro Cop. And look, he just fought and got a good knockout. So he still has that knockout power, but now it's in his hands. So let's go, Mirko. Number 3.
All right. My number 3, the Spider, Anderson Silva. Just like you were saying a little bit ago, Anderson Silva with knocking Forrest Griffin, I believe, with a jab, which is why, like, you just looking at it like, how did that even work? Like, he knocked him out with a jab. The crane kick you were talking about on Vitor Belfort, the knee he landed on Stephan Bonner. You know, overall, I mean, it made you think he was a world beater. Still, in my opinion, the greatest of all time. Anderson Silva is my number 3 knockout artist. All right, number 2.
All right, my number 2, I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this. Pat Barry. It's really weird, I know, but I like Pat. What?
Go ahead, sorry. What the fuck?
What? Go for it.
No. I'm just really Pat Barry. I saw him get knocked out more than knocking anybody out.
Exactly, but this is why. So Pat Barry back in the day, he was in Combat USA, good fights. When he came into UFC, it's not necessarily knockout, but it's a technical knockout. That's why I'm kind of being a little biased here. His leg kicks back in the day would take you out. He would throw maybe 3 leg kicks and the fighter couldn't get up, couldn't continue. So I'm counting that as a knockout, in my opinion, because the person could not continue. So I'm going to go Pat Barry. And then, yes, he does get knocked out more. That Czech Congo fight was insane. You can see it anywhere on the internet. But I got to go Pat Barry.
All right. My number, that was weird. I don't know. But my number 2 is Crow Cop, actually. I mean, how many head kick knockouts do you need on your resume to be considered, one of the top 5 knockout artists in MMA history? That dude just knows how to freaking throw that shit. So, what I think he let's see, I'm trying to find the list of the people he knocked out, but look, the guy's a kickboxer. He's still fighting, and he just finished God, I can't forget his name, Gonzaga.
There you go.
And he cut him up. So Michael Crow, number 2 for me. All right, let's finish off. Number 1, Nick.
Number 1 is going to be the fighter fighting this weekend, Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt with the walk-off knockouts all day. He knows when he hits you, he knows you're going to sleep, and he'll just walk it off and celebrating on his own. Not necessarily the most fit fighter, kind of like Roy Nelson in a way, but he just goes and he doesn't care. You can hit him with how many shots you want to. He's not going down, and he's going to drop you. So Mark Hunt, my number 1.
All right, my number 1. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we got to let you know these lists are our opinion. They're not necessarily, like anything crazy. It's just our opinion. My number 1 knockout artist is predictable. Nick.
Really?
I'm kidding.
I'm like, I know I had Pat Barry. That's kind of bad. But if you say Nick Diaz.
Yeah, no. Vanderlei Silva. I'll take Vanderlei Silva, my knockout artist. For me, he's the number 1. I mean, wins over Sakuraba, knocking out Rampage, punching the shit out of Keith Jardine. Look, 24 out of 34 wins are by knockout. Okay, the guy was a scary guy. All he does is come forward. That fight against Brian Stan, where they were both. I mean, Brian Stan was trying to Vanderlei Silva. It didn't work out, dude. You can't do it. You know what I mean? But for me, number 1 knockout artist, Vanderlei Silva, the axe murderer. All right, so not too bad. That was kind of I think both of our lists ended up being kind of weird. I mean, for me, I think maybe I put Chuck Liddell way too low, and maybe Shogun way too low.
I feel like Shogun, I put Chuck Liddell low too.
I think maybe I think Shogun could have been number 1 for me, but still, overall, what's up?
I don't know why I had Pat Barry on my list. I was just looking up good fighters and good knockouts, and I remember Pat Barry's video came across of him just taking people out with those leg kicks, and he was devastating back then. Now he just gets dropped everywhere he goes, especially in Glory too. But what can you do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do, man? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the short show and the fact that I can't talk about the goddamn. I got some kind of chest cold or whatever it is, so under the weather and dealing with some other stuff. So anyway, thanks for tuning in for 5 rounds with Eddie and Nick. You can follow me at Elaw31 and the page at Crossroads MMA. Nick Pilecki is at Nick X Micro. I really doubt he's gonna change at this point. We've gone too far. So yeah. Also, Keyboard Warriors went down last night. Make sure you go back on my little Twitter feed and scroll down. You can find it on there. It's always funny shit. Nick joins us once in a while when he's able to. But Aaron Robbins, Stand and Bang, MMA, and Fred Kirby also from Stand and Bang and Jam City Fighting. Really, really funny guys to join us. Don't miss those shows. They're always pretty good. Also, you can get their podcast over at standandbangmma.com. They do really good work on there. Actually, they had Michelle Watterson on, who, by the way, has just joined the UFC. Fuck yeah. So her first fight's Angela Magana. Real quick before we go, what do you think on that fight?
That's going to be a good fight. It's weird because Karate Hottie's jumping into a different weight class. She's going to be a little bit heavier. She might have some power now, but Angela Magana, I like her too. So I don't know. I can't wait for that fight. It's going to be a good fight.
I was about to see Michelle Watterson beat the crap out of her because Magana talks too much shit and then doesn't back it up. Like, I like Chael Sonnen because he talks shit and he backs it up for the most part. I mean, he loses, but he shows up and he fights hard. Right? Angela Magana talks about all this shit and she's her majesty and all this garbage. And then in the last fight, got the shit kicked out of her. By the way, how do you go to Thailand, all right, and train with the Thais and your Muay Thai kind of sucks? That makes no sense.
I remember Fred said that on Send and Bang, and I started laughing in the car.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Tomorrow we're planning on That's Just Happening with Pride Body Blow 25, right? So Pride 25 Body Blow.
Yes, last week shit came up. I had to do something with my fucking work. So yes, we will be live tomorrow for sure, 100%.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. You guys have a good day. Hit us up on Twitter, and we will talk to you guys later.